Some of you might know that a few weeks ago, I used to do the bro split. If you don't know what the bro split is, it's basically where you train each of the muscle groups once per week. And so fitness influencers would usually shit on this split because, well, you're only training each muscle group once per week, which apparently is not optimal for muscle hypertrophy, the gains, whatever. And even after all that criticism, I did switch to the bro split. And surprisingly enough, I actually started to make a lot more progress. But it might not have been the actual split itself. Here's the breakdown. I used to do upper lower for almost my entire time in the gym. Up until I started switching to bro split, I was doing upper lower. I would do upper twice per week and lower twice per week, and that was usually fine. However, I didn't make lots of progress during that time. For the first 3 years-ish, I didn't make that much progress in the gym because I didn't eat right. I didn't recover to the best of my ability. My workouts were great. Like, they were intense as hell. My exercise selection or the order of my exercises could have been a lot better. But I still trained hard. I did what I needed to do in order to gain muscle. In the gym, at least. But outside of the gym, my gains were just ripped away from me because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing when I wasn't in the gym. I wasn't eating right. I was running around way too much. Too much cardio. Kills gains. My sleep was actually really good because of all the running around outside. During school, at breaks, I would just play soccer the entire time. I was always sweating. Just high intensity cardio, hours of it, every day. It's hard not to get good sleep. And then college came around. When college first started, I watched this video by Hamza Ahmed, and he made a fitness video about building an aesthetic body. The two main things I took away from the video were the biggest guys that he knows, they all do the bro split. He went on a rant about how the fitness industry just really hates the bro split, but everyone he knows that is big does the bro split. And so he kind of did make the assumption that because of that, the bro split is better. And then there was also progressive overload, his own method for progressive overload, which is don't look at the weights. You're training for an aesthetic body, not necessarily strength. So don't focus on the weights, instead focus on how hard that set felt, how your muscles feel after the set that you're doing. And if you go to failure every single set, there's a good chance that you're always progressively overloading every single set because you're always going to failure. That was what he said about progressive overload. And so I tried it. I did the bro split and I went to failure every single set for a year straight. And I actually didn't make much, if any, progress. The thing that held me back was the progressive overload part. I won't say the bro split is bad or worse than upper lower or the other splits, because I did make decent progress after I fixed how I utilized progressive overload. It might not be as great as push-pull legs for someone else, the bro split, because the bro split has ups and downs. Some people just take more time to recover. Some people, they can thrive off of just one session for every muscle group per week. It depends on you personally, but despite everything, although I switched to push-pull legs now, which is quite better for me, I still did make significant progress with a bro split, and I'll get into that in a second. But I want to first highlight the big mistake I was making in the gym, why I didn't make any progress for that first year of a bro split. It was because I wasn't monitoring the weight. And this is exactly what Hamza, my PT, in a way, told me to do. Told me to stop looking at the weight. Useless. Can't be doing that. Does not benefit you whatsoever. But guess what? Wrong. Because after a while, I gave up. I was like,
I'm not making any progress. I looked at my bench for the past year, has not gone up whatsoever. I can't keep doing this.
And so what I did was, I started tracking my reps again and the weight. And what happened was, I actually started making progress. I started adding 2 reps every week to the weight I was using on either bench press or rows or leg press, whatever. All of my movements, I was adding 2 reps per week on the bro split. All that changed was I was checking how much weight or how many reps I was pushing per week. I'm not really sure how it works. Like, I'm not a scientist. I don't freaking look at the studies or whatever. I mean, I look at some studies. Like Jeff Nippard, that guy, great guy. Love his videos. But other than that, I'm sure there's lots of studies out there about, I don't know, looking at the weight that you're pushing. I'm sure there might be a study on it, but I just haven't looked at it because I'm not really that guy. One key takeaway from this, if you want a little snippet of advice for maybe if you're not making that much gains and you've gone down the road I have, which is to just go to failure, don't look at the weight. My advice is don't do that. Go to failure, yes. Look at the weight. You must look at the weight. You have to track your progress, otherwise you'll just never know when you're progressing. And chances are you probably won't progress at all. Because for some reason, when you just stop checking the weight, you just stop progressing. And now to the meaty part of this video, which has been the topic of the video this entire time, but for some reason I'm talking about freaking going to failure and a progressive overload and eating. I'm not clickbait, guys, I swear. I switched from bro split to push-pull legs. And I did this because I wanted to test if maybe if I started doing each muscle group 2 times per week instead of once. So I thought that if you doubled the load that you put into your muscles, you'd get 2 times the gains. And so I tried it. I went from bro split to push-pull legs, and I thought maybe if I did this, instead of adding 2 reps per week like I was doing on bro split, I might be able to add 4 reps. And so I tried it, and it worked. Bench press, leg press, rows, everything was just going up by 4 reps every week. Except my leg extensions. My leg extensions are kind of weird. I add 12 reps per week. I don't know if that's what you guys get. Like, let me know in the comments if you add 12 reps to your leg extensions per week. Like, bro, I don't know if the machine's just jacked up or something, but for some reason I'm adding 12 reps per week. Like, in around 4 months, I've maxed out the machine. Crazy. And this might just be newbie gains. Like, I will admit, I've only been doing this for around 1 month. I've been doing push-pull legs for 1 month. Or has it been more? Around 1 month. 1 to 2 months. But so far, for the past 2 months, I've been adding 4 reps to my movements per week. And it hasn't slowed down at all. So if this keeps up for maybe, I don't know, an extra month. Honestly, I think 2 months is really enough to say that this is a pretty good way to double your gains, quite literally. So if you want to try it yourself, I'm sure there's a lot of people who are right now doing push-pull legs, so this video might not apply to you. But if you're doing bro split, or you're only working your muscle groups once per week, like I was doing, then I think it's a good idea to invest in going into push-pull legs and seeing how much more your muscles grow from that. Because it definitely helped me. If it helped me, it can help you. That's how it works. It's a big brain. That's it.